Hey again. I'm having a little bit of a hair. I kind of like it, like really big and mane-like. So, this video is another video about cloth wipes. I got a couple of questions on the video I posted a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to just go ahead and make a video answering them and perhaps expanding on them. I don't know. So I'm going to try and summarize these in a way that makes sense. The first one is about like trying out cloth wipes. So when I first made them, I was like, I'm only going to use them for pee because everything else is gross, and I just felt like I could manage the laundry better if I knew it was just like urine and it was just going to dry, it was going to be fine, blah blah. That lasted for like 3 days, and then like I went to the bathroom and I like peed and pooped, and I was just like, fuck it, like I'm gonna use my wipes because I like them. So totally, if you feel like you're not sure what they're gonna work for or if you're gonna like them, I mean, try it in whatever context makes sense for your life. One of the easy things for me is that I'm single and I don't share a bathroom with anyone. And so it doesn't matter. Like, I don't have to have multiple options. It's easy for me just to do my thing and do my thing, you know? And do my thing. So, you know, I mean, certainly I know a lot of people who, or I shouldn't say I know a lot of people, I know of several people who choose to use them just for urine or as baby wipes or whatever. But I found that once I started using them, it made just as much sense for me to give up toilet paper and just use my wipes than to try and decide when was the right time for what. The other thing is I literally have not bought toilet paper. I mean, probably once in the last year. So I do try and remember to have some in the house, but there have certainly been times when people have come over and there's no toilet paper for them. So remember to keep a secret stash somewhere for people who are weirded out by the fact that you wipe yourself with claws and then wash them. But yeah, I mean, I can't recommend cloth wipes enough. And if you feel comfortable trying them just with pee and not with poop or whatever, you know, whatever that sort of threshold is for you, certainly give it a try. And like I said in my last video, give it a try with just squares of flannel. I mean, they're not going to be quite as absorbent as the double layered ones that I showed you in the last video. But it does give you an idea of like how much you use, how frequently you need to wash, what the comfort level is, and all that stuff. So it's certainly an easy thing to try out. So you just need, you know, a fat quarter of flannel would give you probably 6 wipes. So it's an easy way just to kind of cut out squares and try it. So someone asked about whether or not I get issues with smell, presumably like the dirty one sitting in a pile waiting to be washed. I cannot honestly say that I have never ever smelled them, but it's definitely unusual. And I think the cases where I do find where they would smell would be if I overstuff my bag and they don't dry. So these are my dirty wipes. You probably won't be able to tell that they're dirty. So this is the laundry bag that I use. It is, I will give you dimensions and everything. It's 11 inches by a bunch of inches. It's 11 by 22-ish. And it's just mesh with a cotton top so that the zipper stays nice and secure. And I just leave this open hanging in my bathroom with this clipped over my curtain rod. And this is about the point at which I wash, when it's about this full. So if I kept on going and I kept on filling this and these got all stuffed down like this, then they would have wet urine and feces, and discharge and period blood and whatever it is that you're wiping off of yourself is obviously on here, on these. And if they're clumped up like this, they can stay damp, and that can cause them to smell. I probably have experienced that like maybe 2 or 3 times in the year or so that I've been using them. So I would say as a general rule, no, they don't smell. But you want them to be loose and have access to air, because that is what's going to cause them to smell if they're staying damp and bacteria is growing, and you know, bodily materials are decomposing and stuff. So this, like I said, this is also about the point at which I wash them, because water is going to get in there. There's plenty of room within this bag, and I just throw this whole thing in the wash, just zipped up just like this. There's plenty of room for them to get tossed around, and water to soak through everything, and detergent to soak through everything. I literally just pull it off the curtain rod, zip it up, and throw this straight in the wash. Because we're just talking about, we're talking about poop, which is fine. So if I know that there's been an extra poopy situation, or that they might be extra soiled, maybe I was on my period, maybe I was sick, if I know that they're sort of like more dirty than usual, or if you have bowel movements that are looser than, you know, average or whatever, if you feel like they're more soiled than average, unfold them before you wash them. So take your wipe out of the bag, and if it's folded, you know, if it's folded up from using, unfold it completely and put it back in the bag. That's going to make sure that all of the surface of the wipe is going to be exposed to whatever washing method you're using. I just throw mine in the washing machine, but you know, if you wash by hand, or if you wash with a manual machine or whatever, you want all of those soiled areas to be exposed if you know that they're extra soiled. For me, in an average week, like doing it just like this is going to be fine. But if I have been sick, or if I have been on my period, or if I've had diarrhea or whatever, I do go in and unfold every wipe and put them back in the bag so that I know they're going to get fully saturated and clean. And then the last sort of real question was, well, there were 2 other questions. One was, am I going to sell them on my Etsy shop? For those of you that don't know, I do have an Etsy shop, Cuddle Blossom Cloth. And maybe, I don't know. I was going to sew up some wet bags this weekend. Maybe I'll do some laundry bags and some wipes if I have the time, but probably at some point. I have a couple of cute flannels, so maybe. And then the last question is, do you get as clean with flannel wipes as with toilet paper? And I can say unequivocally, I get cleaner with my cloth wipes. You know, I mean, okay, so this is a clean one, no poop yet. So what I do when I use it is I fold it in half, and then I fold it in half again, and then I usually like hold this end and like wipe with the loose end, but it doesn't really matter. So, you know, I would wipe, and then usually that's all I usually only have to do it once. Usually that's fine, both for urine and feces. I usually just wipe once. If I have to find that I have to wipe more than once, I just fold it, like if this is the soiled area, I just fold that on the inside and wipe again. And I don't think I've ever done more than that. You know, I think like, I'm trying to think of what makes it feel cleaner. One thing is that you're not getting any of the tissue debris. Tissue debris. I don't even know. You guys, we're talking about poop wiping. Okay, so toilet paper. First of all, there's lots of different kinds of toilet paper, like way more than any society needs. Do we have choices in toilet paper? I have always been a like fluffy, dense toilet paper person. But all toilet paper is going to shed some material onto your body. Like if you get like the extra happy soft toilet paper, it tends to be a little like looser, like the fiber of the paper is like a little looser and it tends to come off more. Or there's like those weird ones with the lotion like infused or whatever, and then there's just like the terrible like cheap toilet paper like in public bathrooms. All of those things leave paper stuck to you at some level. Some worse than others, obviously, but I have always felt like this sort of slight like discomfort with what's left behind by toilet paper. And then also, this is way more absorbent than toilet paper. This is like, these 2 layers of flannel is just, and then by the time you do this, by the time you fold it over like this so that it's a reasonable size to wipe yourself with, you're dealing with 2, 4, 6, 8 layers of flannel, which is more than I would wear. Like, I would comfortably wear 8 layers of flannel on the heaviest day of my period. You're not going to wipe and find that anything bleeds through to your fingers. I find that I feel cleaner. I feel cleaner, I feel drier, I feel more comfortable. I feel like you're not searching. You guys, this is so gross. I can't even deal. You're not like searching for those bits of poop that are left in some mystery place. Like every time you wipe, there's still poop for some reason, and you're like, where is this poop even coming from? Like, I've been done going to the bathroom. So I never find that happen with these. Like, at most, when I have the grossest, most uncomfortable, most unpleasant bathroom experiences, at most I wipe 3 times. With toilet paper, I might go back for like another arm muffler sized roll of toilet paper on my hand to feel like I'm not going to get mess on my hand. With this, never do I ever feel worried about what I'm leaving behind on my body, what is going to seep through to my hand, or like what is just going to get squished and moved around by the toilet paper and not just absorbed and lifted off. If you're worried about cleanliness and how the waste is removed from your skin and removed from your body, I mean, I would never go back to toilet paper if that was my only concern. I feel much cleaner, much fresher or whatever, with the flannel than I ever have with toilet paper. Those were the questions. So I really appreciate how engaged you guys were with that video. I did not expect it. And if you continue to have questions about cloth wipes, please feel free. Like I said, I use them multiple times every day. The only thing I don't really do is travel with them. I don't take them to work with me because it's just too much trouble. But please feel free to ask, continue to ask whatever questions that you have, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them for you. And I'm off to do a load of laundry, so see you later. Bye-bye.